So I'll try to split this up so you can see what's going on. Each column you really want to divide it, and you want to visualize this space going on here, here, and here when you're doing columns. A regular throw column would be this little situation. For bouncing, it's the same thing, except for it is just a little bit slower and harder to control the bounce because we don't really ride up with it, we just have what's going down. So this will be something that's very beneficial to do on a decent floor, which I do not have right now, and also with decent bounce balls. These are lacrosse balls, but it doesn't really matter. Just make sure that you're compensating for your lift depending on what equipment you're using. All right. All right, so today we're going to go over columns, and what we'll need is just one ball at first, and all we're going to do is just toss that ball to each column. We have 3 columns. One column's on my right side, one column's in the center, one column is on the left side. So all I'm going to do is just throw the right, and then throw it center, throw it over here to the left side, and in the center. I'm going to do this with my lift bounce first because it's slower and I can get a nice good time with it. And then I'm also going to try it with my forced bounce. Just keeping it in that same column and then switching it to the center column and then switching it to the other side column and then back and forth. Trying to just really get it to go straight down and straight up. After I have that, I'm going to add a second ball, and I'm just going to go to the outside columns. And just really focus on keeping them straight up and down. Now, once I'm used to those outside columns, I'm going to start taking one to the center column. And get used to doing that and going 2 in one hand. So I'll go center and then 2 in one hand. And I'll just move it over and try to go 2 in one hand on the other. All I am is going underneath the ball and lifting it up and just keeping this other hand down. Because you have enough time there to really get underneath the ball. Just make sure you have a big lift and you won't have to reach down as much to get underneath it. So with the forced bounce, I have right, left, center, and then just going to 2 in one hand. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Left, right, center, and then 2 in one hand. And I'm really just going to keep practicing adding throws on, but for now that's really not important. We're just going to add the third ball and get into it with lift columns, and as you go along, you can add in different patterns in 2 in one hand. 2 in one hand really isn't that important as long as you can do it about once. And then that's all you really need. And you can add on from there, and this will also help grow that if you want to just do something fancy with this hand and then use this hand to juggle it. So what we'll have with 3 balls, starting with the lift cascade, I'm just going to lift to the outside column, and then I'm going to lift to the left column. Outside, left. And I'm going to get used to catching those right on time. Once I hear that bounce, I'm going to throw the other one. Bounce, throw. Alright? So now, in that timing, I'm going to go right, right. I'm going to do my right 2 times. Right, and then go into that center column, and then throw my left. So I have my right, and then my center column coming from my right hand. Right, center, and then I have my left, and then my left hand's going to do that second center column. So I have right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. And we're just going to repeat it. And we're going to try to focus on where we're letting it drop and trying to keep it in that column so that it's not bouncing everywhere. I don't have the best floor, but practice makes perfect. Now that we have that, you can incorporate 2 in 1 hand into it by just going lift, 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 lift. You're just going to go back. So now, once I finish the line, I'm going to stay on my right hand. And that's all it is. So this right here is your basic lift column cascade. Just try to make it cleaner than that. Also, it's going to be the same thing force bouncing. We're just going to have to go a little bit faster and have to be comfortable where we're catching it. It's your preference. Sometimes I go above, sometimes I go right here, depending on where I am bouncing it from. So we're going to do the same thing, and we're just going to go right, left, right, left. Now, once you're used to this little rhythm and keeping them in the column, you're just going to add the third one into the center. Well, it's the second one. So you're just going to add the second one into the center, going right, 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 left, right, right, left, left. And then it's going to be our right again. So we go right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. All right? And then you can do the same thing, adding 2 in 1 hand to that. And also this pattern can go a little bit higher if you push down a little bit more. So that's about it. Just make sure you practice it and practice keeping that column nice and straight and up and down. Remember, your force bounce is going to be a little bit quicker than the lift bounce. So when you're working on cleaning up the patterns and learning the patterns, learn it with your lift bounce first and then try to do your force bounce after that. Alright, so that is it for our columns. Try your best to just keep them straight, up and down, and really just practice them. It's a nice slow pattern, especially with the lift. So what you really want to think about is just squaring that body off. There, shoulder square, hip square, feet can be wide, a little bit narrow. Just know where your column is. Same thing with the force bounce. Really square your body off and try not to let this shoulder come out. Because once we start doing this, then we'll start doing this and start turning. Which, I mean, is pretty cool, but it's not the fun. It's not that fun if we weren't intending to start turning. Because then our audience is behind us and we're juggling and doing all the fancy stuff and they're not even seeing it. Alright? Alright, so thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed this. We have a couple of cascades already and I'm excited to move on and go forward with all the other cascades and patterns that we can do. Alright, thank you. Bye.
Hey.